Oh, this chair. Okay. Oh, I have so much acid reflux coming up. Yay, 9 months pregnancy. Lightning crotch. I did not know that was a thing. And I get it all the time. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Oh, sorry. Right now I have like a really bad backache. It feels like a jolt of lightning up your crotch. It's not pleasant. Hey Health Nuts, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicole. If you guys are new here and you did not know, I am currently very pregnant. I'm 9 months pregnant to be exact. We are experiencing some turbulence. We are expecting our little girl in about 3 weeks when I'm filming this. So I'm just trying to like pre-film a bunch of videos and content for you guys, so you have something to watch while I am recovering and adapting to newborn mom life. So I'm really excited. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about or answering your questions. I asked you guys on Instagram stories to send me all of your juicy TMI pregnancy questions that you guys wanna know, and I'm gonna answer them for you today in today's video. So I'm really excited because you guys had some really good questions. There were so many, I feel like I could do a part 2, but I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can and hopefully not ramble too much about each one like I am in this intro. So before we hop in, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. I post here every single week. I will be posting when baby Acorn arrives. So if you don't want to miss a video, make sure you are subscribed and click that little bell notification so you actually get notified when a new video pops up in your feed. So without further ado, let's hop right in to the questions because there's some juicy ones. Are you planning to use an epidural, a bath, or going all natural? Are you nervous about the birth process? So I get a lot of questions about this. I haven't really talked about it too much on like what our like birth plan is. I use quotations because you know what, baby's gonna come out how baby wants to come out, and there's not too much you can plan. But you can have like your ideal kind of birth vision, I think is what they call it in hypnobirthing. Yes, Matt's nodding. So we did do hypnobirthing, which helped a lot just to like ease my mind about the whole birthing process. Currently, right now, we do have, and this might be another question, but we do have a doula. We are going with the midwife route, and I'm so happy we did that. The plan is, I mean, it's so weird right now with COVID. The hospital is not what it used to be, and I'm just lucky that Matt can still come to the hospital with me right now. Our doula is not allowed to come, so she's gonna be basically at home with us while we're like in the early stages of labor and I'm contracting. I wanna be at home for as long as possible because I just think it's a more like calming atmosphere right now. And then the plan is to, once I'm like dilated enough, head to the hospital, which is only about 15 minutes from us. So it's not too far, but to head to the hospital and deliver in a hospital. And just in case like it's, you know, it's a first baby for us. It's a lot of things new that we are just experiencing for the first time. And I still want the option for an epidural. I think I'm gonna play it out. I'm open to natural epidural, whatever I need to do. I'm like no hero, and there's no like prize at the end of the journey. If you do either or, you have to do what's right for you. And you know, if I feel like things are progressing really well and I'm managing pain well, which, you know, hopefully I am, then I would love to do a natural birth. Otherwise, if I'm like, whoa, this is a lot, I can't handle it, I need the drugs, I'm gonna take the drugs. Because my mom, she's had 4 kids, and she's like, when they ask you, do you want the epidural? You say, yes, please. So I am, like I said, no hero, but that's my plan. Labor at home as long as possible in a calm environment, and then head to the hospital when I am dilated enough, because if I go too early at this point, Matt has to like wait in the car. Like it's just, I don't want to be waiting around the hospital for 10 hours before giving birth because it's just a weird environment right now. Oh, this chair. Okay. Ugh, no back support on a stool. So this next one, how has Matt handled your growing body, fatigue, hormone changes, etc.? Well, he's behind the camera right now. I feel like he's handled things really well. I think it's so important to have a supportive partner. I mean, kudos to women who go through this by themselves. It's a lot, and it really is like, yes, I'm the one growing the baby, but it's like, it takes two. You need support, whether if you don't have your partner, for whatever reason, you're doing it on your own or whatever the case is, you know, try to get support from friends and family, because it is a lot to grow a baby emotionally, physically, especially near the end. You need a lot of assistance. Like you know, if I drop something on the floor now, I'm not picking it up. You know, it's just so much more effort. And like it, you know, at night, my legs get crampy and I really need Matt to like massage them with my magnesium balm. There's just a lot of things that, you know, yes, aren't like you could do without, but it really helps make things a little bit more comfortable. Sorry, I just had to adjust my audio cord because I realized it was hanging out the entire time. How embarrassing. In terms of like physical changes, how do I think Matt's reacted to it? I think he's just like super supportive and impressed that like my body is growing a human being. And I feel like your partner should just make you feel like just really confident and feel good about yourself, because you're going through a lot of changes. And the last thing I need to worry about is whether Matt thinks I look sexy in whatever I'm wearing. Because yes, I look like a little more put together right now, but 90% of the time I'm in sweats and walking around in a robe and not feeling that cute. So I feel like he's just been really supportive, and I don't know, Matt, how have you felt about, I can add to it.
It's natural. I don't know, it's like what was expected.
Yeah, so he's just saying like, yeah, like what do you expect? Like it's natural, you know, there's going to be changes, and you know, and the cool thing is like we get a baby out of it. So we're very excited to be growing our family, and hopefully that answered the question. Next question. Okay, hear me out. LOL. Do you plan on eating your placenta? I know Shut The Kale Up did. Okay, so this is something that I know some people are so grossed out about. I actually thought for the longest time, like, yeah, I'm gonna encapsulate my placenta so I can take it in a pill form. It's like when they like cook it and dehydrate it and put it in capsules, like you're not like eating it in a smoothie or like, I don't know why I did this, like a steak. That's weird too. But pretty much I thought for the longest time I was gonna definitely dehydrate it, put it into capsules and take it, because I heard that it helps with like recovery, postpartum depression. I was like, whatever can help with that in my mood, like I want to do. And I wasn't really grossed out about it. There's like so much like research whether to do it or not to do it, but like now being pregnant and having to decide whether that's something I want to do, I spoke to my midwives, I spoke to our doula, and it seemed like there's just like a lot of research now that just kind of, says that there's also a lot of toxins in the placenta, and really by the time you're like cooking and dehydrating it and blah, 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 like how much nutrients are really in it. So basically I decided not to go that route. Instead, I'm going to be relying on supplements like vitamin D, fish oils, probiotics to really help support my mood. And then my doula has also mentioned some like naturopathic medicine and stuff that she can give to me if I am experiencing like any weird mood changes with hormones. But I do think it's really important for you and your partner and people around you to say something if they notice any weird behaviors, or for you yourself to speak up if you're feeling down, having the baby blues and all that stuff. I don't know what my hormones are going to be post-birth, but if they're anything like my first trimester, that was crazy. So I don't know, maybe I'm prepared. Maybe I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the hormones again, because I did not expect that in my first trimester. So I feel like I'm just a little bit more prepared, but we'll see whatever happens. But I am not planning on eating my placenta. This next one, which I actually got a few questions about, sex during pregnancy. Is it difficult? A lot less frequent? Does it give you cramps? Okay, so yeah, I got so many questions about this. And to be honest, I feel like a lot of us just see like pregnancy sex like on TV and movies and stuff, and you just think it's like one way in your head. Is it difficult? You just obviously have to adjust like positions you're doing. You're not as like agile, especially when you get bigger. I would say that definitely in first trimester, that was like the last thing on my mind. I was just so sick and nauseous and like not myself. That wasn't even like a thought in my head. I was like, ugh, no. If I never have sex again, I'm okay. Second trimester, like your energy's up, you're feeling good. And I would say it's totally something that you're up for doing, and it does feel good, and you're just not as like big and heavy, so you can have more flexibility in the like positions that you choose to do it in. In terms of cramping, yes, that's something I learned pretty early on. It gave me cramping for sure. I looked it up though, and I checked with my doctors, like it's totally safe. I think it's just like something that happens. Some women get it worse than others. Hang on, my back hurts. See, how can you have sex? My back hurts all the time. Now being my third trimester, I feel like it's something that I want less frequently. And, the last time I definitely was really sore in my lower back and hips, and it wasn't something that I like wanted to do again. So I was like, it might be the last time. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling good and up to it, it is healthy, especially near the end. Like, it's like one of our top things that our doula told us is like, intercourse helps induce labor. So it's definitely something that's good to do throughout your pregnancy if you're feeling good and it's something you want to do with your partner. But don't feel bad if you're not feeling up to it, because like, I totally get it. Trust me, I get it. If you're not feeling up to it, don't push yourself. Be gentle with your body, and like, you're growing a human being. It's a lot already. So just do what you got to do to feel good. Next one, which is kind of similar to the first question, but this one was asked a lot. What is our birth plan with the midwife and doula? How do you feel about giving birth? So as I mentioned, we have a midwife, we have a doula. I want to labor at home and then head to the hospital when the time is ready. How do I feel about birth? I thought I would be more nervous, and it's not that like I'm not nervous, but I also haven't I haven't focused my attention on it too much. It's kind of out of my control. I want to support my body as much as I can and prep for it. Like I got my raspberry leaf tea that I'm currently drinking. We're doing all the things that we can. Perineum stretching, Google that one. We're just doing the things that we can to hopefully have a easier, quick labor. Lots of movement. I'm walking a lot, stretching, doing all the things. But at the end of the day, like, you really don't know. And I don't want to stress myself out about it. So I've been pretty calm up until this point. Like, I think about it once in a while and I'm like, oh man, a baby has to come out. Like, I don't know if I can do this, but like, I'm kind of like, I'm in no position to like back out of it now. So she's got to come out one way or another. So there's just no reason for me to like dwell on it. So I'm just kind of like trying to be chill on it. And I'm sure like the last week I'm going to be a little bit freaked out as I start to experience more cramping. I've experienced Braxton Hicks like a couple of times. Yeah, I'm sure it's not gonna be a fun time, but women do it all over the world. I know I will get through it, so I don't wanna like build it up in my head as this like scary, unachievable thing, because it's like, I will do it and she will come out in the world and I will heal and everything will be fine. I can do it. Next question, would you adopt? So yes, Matt and I are definitely open to adopting. We've talked about it many times. I just think it'd be just a really awesome thing to be able to do. And, it's one of those things, like, we still want to have our own kids. Like, I think we want a big family. I don't know how many kids I want to like carry in birth. Yeah, we're definitely open to adopting. It's a lot harder than people realize. We have friends that have tried to adopt because they couldn't have their own, and then they ended up having their own, but they were still on the waiting list. So it's one of those things, like, we're open to it, but we don't really know if it's an option for us, like if we'll get approved, if we'll be matched, or whatever the case is. I don't know a lot about the adoption process, but we would definitely be open to adopting in the future. Okay, this next one, how do you overcome anxiety during pregnancy? This has been something huge for me that I've had to really work on overcoming. As you guys may or may not know, I have dealt with anxiety for the majority of my life, and I was always so worried about getting pregnant and being a mom and how dealing with anxiety would affect that. And it's scary, your body is going through a lot of changes, and dealing with a mental health related issue is really scary and hard. And I would definitely say it was very, very challenging in my first trimester. I mean, being pregnant for the first time during a pandemic. I talk about this in my first trimester recap video. It's a scary thing. I think looking back, like, I definitely had prenatal like depression, and my anxiety was like at an all-time high. I had insomnia. I just felt so sick and alone and depressed, and it was just an awful time. So it's funny because I feel like some people breeze through first trimester. Some people have a really hard time with just like the nausea and stuff. But for me, it was anxiety. It was so bad. And a few things that really helped was getting support. So talking to Matt about it. Also I had weekly sessions with my hypnotherapist. Even if you're just going to like a traditional like psychotherapists and stuff, I think it's really important to talk to someone. and just share what is on your mind. And then just things like, meditation, relaxing essential oils, acupuncture can really help relax and calm your nerves. But actually one thing I started doing was just like going for daily walks. Cashew and I would get strapped up and go for like a long 1.5 hour walk. And I would just breathe and try to get through each day. Yeah, it was definitely a scary time. At that time, I didn't know how I was going to get through the whole pregnancy. I thought, if this is how I feel just in the first trimester, what am I going to feel like being 9 months pregnant? And that's what I am today. And I can honestly say I feel so much better. All I can say is just really focus on self-care. I took some time off work. I just made me a priority every single day. And I had like a list of things that I would do every single day to make myself feel better. And you know what? Like, you're stronger than you think. And I got through it. And at the time I thought, this is like the end of the world. I'm never going to get through this. But you do. And then you're like stronger because of it. So yeah, it was a crazy time. And, anxiety is something that I've still struggled throughout my pregnancy. But I feel like being able to manage it when it was so bad in my first trimester was really empowering and really helped set the tone for the rest of my pregnancy. Postpartum recovery, my strategy. I don't think I really have a strategy. I've been just supporting my body throughout my whole pregnancy. I've mentioned this so many times, but like being active, eating as healthy as I can, and just moving has been really important for me, because I feel like once I give birth, take some time to heal and recover, like physically and mentally. It's not going to be like, oh, I haven't been to the gym for like the last 9 months. I feel like it'll just be like, take, what do you call it? Like, oh, I have so much acid reflux coming up. Yay, 9 months pregnancy. In terms of what I'm planning to do post-birth, I just want to give my body the time it needs to relax and recover. I'm in no rush to like get back to the gym or anything. I'm sure I'm going to crave movement just like I have my whole pregnancy, and I'm going to want to walk and just move and stretch. But I'm also going to give, my body time before I get into that. I've never been like a huge fitness junkie or anything. So I'm just going to like move my body in whatever way feels comfortable. I hope that I'm craving my green smoothies and salads again, because yeah, your eating habits change so much when you're pregnant. And yes, I've craved healthy food, but it's like also so many foods that you used to like, you don't like anymore when you're pregnant. So I've heard that kind of like goes back to normal. But yeah, I feel like I'm just going to be really patient with my body and not have like unrealistic goals or expectations. I don't even think about it, to be honest, like, oh, I hope I'm at my pre-pregnancy weight by this point. I've been trying to just support my body throughout my whole pregnancy, as opposed to just like eating whatever I want and like not working out and not doing anything, and then just hoping that like at the end of it all, I can just quickly get back to my old self. I think that would be an unrealistic goal. So yeah, I'm not too concerned. I don't really have a strategy. I don't know if that answered your question, but I'm just gonna take it one step at a time. Oof. What are a few things about pregnancy that most people don't tell you? Everything. So many things. So many things. Honestly, I feel like I tell my friends all these symptoms and they're like, what? Like, that's pregnancy related? Yes, everything is pregnancy related. There's so many things that pop up. I can't even just say it's one thing. Restless legs, indigestion, like itchy skin, easily to burn from the sun. Like, there's so many weird things that, or even like I have so much fuzz now on my neck, and I swear I have like sideburns. Hair grows everywhere. Not on my brows, not where like I want it to grow, but you just have like your hair grows. Like, my hair is thicker now, which is nice. But yeah, you definitely have like more hair. Like, I feel like I have more fuzz on my shoulders. I'm just hairier. We are going into winter, so it might, do me good. I'm trying to think of like, there's like I guess like lightning crotch. I did not know that was a thing. And I get it all the time, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Oh, sorry, right now I have like a really bad backache. Actually, I found out about it for the first time from my personal trainer, Laura. She's like, oh, have you experienced lightning crotch yet? And I was like, I'm sorry, a what? And she's like, yeah, it feels like, someone just like stabbed you with a knife, like up your crotch. I'm like, what? No, I haven't. And then like 2 days later, we were like driving and all of a sudden I felt that and I knew right away what it was, which I'm kind of glad I heard about it before experiencing it for the first time, because that was a lovely experience. But it's painful. It's like startling painful. It just feels like a jolt of lightning up your crotch. It's not pleasant. But like, it's really essentially what I think it is like baby's head is down low in your pelvic area and hitting nerves, and that's what creates that like painful lightning jolt feeling. So her head is like really low right now, so she does that all the time. And she also likes to kick me in the ribs. So, you know, having a baby grow inside you is quite the experience, and sometimes it feels really cute and they're moving and they're kicking, and other times they are hitting nerves in your vagina and it feels like you're being stabbed with a knife. It's awful, but it's more startling than anything. And yeah, you'll just be like doing your thing and then all of a sudden like, and you just stop in your tracks and it's kind of uncomfortable. So unfortunately it's like my new norm and it happens every day now. So I don't know, I just kind of gotten used to it, but that's something I did not know about. No one told me. Pregnancy and essential oils, how do you do it? So I've had so many questions about essential oils while being pregnant. So many people, it's funny because like so many people are so scared of essential oils, and like it boggles my mind because I could be using like bleach and like all these like toxic candles and wallflowers and stuff in my home, breathing that in, having cashew breathe it in, and like no one would say anything. Yet I use like natural plant oils to just like make my house smell good, support my emotional well-being, and help with different like issues that I'm having. And like everyone speaks up. They're like, no, essential oils are so bad. Like I've done so much research about it. They have helped me so much in my personal life, pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy. The proof is in the oil. When you start to incorporate such pure essential oils into your routine, so not ones that have synthetic ingredients in it and stuff, like good quality, pure essential oils, it is, I hate this word, like game-changing or life-changing, but they really are. I can't even imagine going through my pregnancy without the support of essential oils. They've helped me with digestion, relaxation, just nausea. There's so many things. And I actually have, I think it's on my bed right now. I have a little pouch that I have like my little essential oil first aid kit in. And there's certain oils that I do not leave the house without, because they've just helped me so much. I use them for sleeping. They're just amazing. And I feel good about using them. They're non-toxic. They're all natural. And there are definitely some oils that you want to stay away from being pregnant, like sage and I think lemongrass and stuff like that. So you want to do your research, but there's just like a handful of ones that you want to stay away from. Just like there's foods that you don't want to eat while you're pregnant. But yeah, you got to do what's right for you. I have a nighttime routine video as well as a pregnancy must-haves video that I talk about essential oils in a little bit more. But if you want like a full-on IGTV video or something dedicated to essential oils, let me know. I've used them even for like my blue belly oil that I always use and talk about. I have a full IGTV video sharing how I make that oil and all the different essential oils I use and why. But yeah, I love them. I'm going to be using them when baby acorn comes, obviously very diluted and only using certain ones in the beginning. But they are just a part of our life. They help our immune system, so many things. Yes, essential oils when you're pregnant are amazing. Did you actively do anything to help conception, like tracking ovulation, prenatals, etc.? So we were actually, I'd say like officially trying, like actually trying for like maybe 6 months. We thought we were kind of trying for a year, but we weren't tracking anything. It wasn't really until I like sat down and looked at the exact day in my app. Like I used the Cycles app, I think, where I was like, oh, like I'm ovulating on these days. Like these are the days that we should do it if we want to get pregnant. And that is like the first time that I actually physically tracked it, and then we ended up getting pregnant. So I don't know if it was fluke. I think it's just harder to get pregnant than people say. I think we are brought up to just be told like, be careful, you can get pregnant just by breathing. Like it really, like for some people, obviously it can be really, really fertile. It is harder than you think. And I'm sure it gets harder as you get older. So if you are currently trying to get pregnant and it's just not working after the first month of trying, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged even after 6 months or a year. Some people are like 2 years, and even, you know, our doctors and stuff had said, we would bring it up once in a while in an appointment, and they're like, okay, how long have you been trying? Because we thought, what if we have infertility issues, you know? And they're just like, yeah, you've been trying for like 6 months, like come back when it's been like 2 years. And obviously as you get older, you're like, well, I don't want to wait 2 years, because then like, what if like by 2 years comes and you do have infertility issues, you know? So I would say like maybe after a year of actually trying, maybe start to look into other options that can help support conception. But yeah, basically we were just using an app. I didn't really track too much besides that, but yeah, there are things that can help figure out exactly when you're ovulating. And I was taking prenatals for at least, all right, battery died, but I believe where I left off was talking about prenatals. Basically I was taking prenatals for about a year before we actually got pregnant, just because I knew we wanted to have kids, and I thought no harm in being on them early, just to stock up my body with all of the nutrients it needs, like iron, since most of the time my iron levels are low anyways, so it didn't hurt to have my prenatals be my multivitamin. Are we planning on breastfeeding or bottle feeding? So obviously, like, it's always another unknown factor of like, are you going to be able to produce enough milk? What's your supply going to be like? Is baby going to latch properly? There's so many like outside factors that are not really controllable. So the plan in an ideal world is that I'd be able to breastfeed and pump so that Matt could also give baby Acorn a bottle with breast milk in it. I know there's like a thing called like nipple confusion. So I don't know, the plan is to be able to do both. That way, if I have to leave for something, you know, I'm not stuck to being home all the time. Like I am a mom entrepreneur or mompreneur, however you like to call it. I am taking some time off, but the reality is the type of job that I do, although I'm so grateful for, and there is a lot of flexibility, I do kind of still, I can't really just take a year off from the internet world. Nor do I want to, because I also want to document this special time in our lives. So it'd be really nice if, I can breastfeed, pump, and then also give breast milk via bottle. That is like the best scenario, especially like if Matt can do like a feeding in the middle of the night so I can actually have more than 2 hours of sleep. That would be amazing. Also, we did buy some backup formula just because I did some research and I wanted a specific kind. I don't know if she's gonna need it or even like it or digest it well. We'll see. Yeah, that's the plan. So we have formula for backup because at the end of the day, as long as baby is fed, that is an important thing. Whether it's formula, breast milk, whatever the case is, I just want to make sure she's getting the nutrients that she needs. I hope to breastfeed, but if I can't, we have some formula on backstock, and I'm totally fine with that too. What is your favorite and least favorite part about being pregnant? I feel like so many mamas out there are, especially if they've had kids a while ago, they're like, oh, I miss being pregnant. It was like the greatest thing ever. And me being 9 months pregnant, I'm like, was it though? Do you need me to remind you? As I'm having like severe backaches right now, sitting on a stool, and I'm waking up like 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night to go pee. There are definitely things that I miss about like not being pregnant, but obviously they're all sacrifices that you do to be able to grow life, which is obviously such a miracle and like a cool thing that we're even able to do. So I just look at it as like, because I get asked a lot too, like, do you like being pregnant? And it's not that I hate it, but I definitely liked not being pregnant, like all the things that I didn't have to deal with. But I'm also I've looked at it as a necessary sacrifice in order to grow a family. And, you know, you do what you can to stay comfortable and sane throughout the process. So favorite things about being pregnant, I would say it is really cool to be able to connect with the baby like so early on. Like obviously Matt can't feel her moving inside me like I can. He can only feel like when she kicks on the outside. In the beginning, it's like little flutters and it's so cute. Now I'm like, oh, she's like pushing her butt against like my side, and it's so uncomfortable. But it's still cool to be able to feel her moving and growing inside me. And I'm not gonna lie, like being able to ask for like anything you want and have almost little complaint from your partner is really great. I'm gonna miss that, all the nighttime leg rubs. The least favorite thing, I would say, there's a few of them, you know, just being uncomfortable, and right now like my back's aching being on the stool. Sleep is harder. Things get harder as you progress, but like they've been manageable. Like honestly, my sleep was way worse in my first trimester than it is now. Even though everyone talks about third trimester insomnia, I actually had it like the opposite. But yeah, I would just say the emotional side, I think, was just not something that I was like prepared for. Like the emotional side of being pregnant, it's just been a lot. Like it's just been really important for me to just make sure I'm keeping myself calm and happy as best as I can, because that's what's really important for you and for baby. Are you guys planning on having more babies? Matt and Chloe like to bug me about it already, and I'm like, guys, I'm not even done cooking the first baby. So we definitely want more kids. I'm not gonna lie, being very pregnant right now, it's hard to think of doing this all over again. Yeah, it's just hard. I know like once we have the baby, we're gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, this is so worth it. Every ache and pain, every sleepless night, all of that. But I think I just need some time to be me again. Even though like, I guess I'll never be like me, I'll be a mom, me. But I definitely just need some time to be like, just be one and not have a baby kicking my insides 24/7. But we definitely want more kids. Like I'd say like 3, 4, like I have a lot of siblings and Matt has siblings, and that's just something we definitely want for our own baby acorn to have. Like there's just like a relationship with your siblings that you have that like you just will never get anywhere else. And, I just want to make sure that like we're able to provide that. So whether we have another one of our own or we adopt, we definitely want more kids. There were a couple of other questions that just came up that I want to answer. What was your favorite trimester? I actually would say third trimester, believe it or not. And I'm actually just about to film my third trimester recap. I know I'm not officially done it, but I just feel like everyone would make me feel like I was going to dread it. It's going to be so uncomfortable. And yes, like I have 3 weeks left. So I'm sure like the week leading up to my due date is not going to be a fun time, but I felt like more confident and calm in my body than I have my whole pregnancy. And I feel like my body has just like finally adjusted to this pregnancy life. So yeah, I would say third trimester, believe it or not. And I'm sure that's an unpopular answer. I'm sure everyone is like second trimester, but third trimester, it's not too bad. This one I thought was interesting. Does the baby moving around at this stage hurt? So yeah, in the beginning, you feel little flutters and it feels really cute. And you're like, oh, is that the baby? Is that like my stomach grumbling? Now when she moves, it's not that it sometimes does hurt. I'm not going to lie, but like sometimes she'll just push her butt out so far out. My belly just looks completely like morphed. And sometimes she's like pushing on one end and pushing down on the other. And it is uncomfortable, or she's like kicking me in the ribs in the morning. But it doesn't happen all day long. Most of the time when you're moving and going about your day, like they're curled up in a little ball and they're sleeping. But every baby is different. I feel like she's a slower, like sloth moving baby, but like she's strong and mighty. Like, yeah, so definitely sometimes it hurts and it's uncomfortable and it wakes me up, but I like in the morning it wakes me up. I never get woken up in the middle of the night from it. But every baby is different. But yes, it definitely sometimes hurts. Don't feel like it's always just little butterflies. All right, and that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking through this long chatty Q&A video. If there are any other questions that I did not ask that you really wanna know, leave me a comment down below. I'll try to get back to you, but I just want to answer some of the most popular asked questions and hopefully give you guys some insight into what I've experienced, and also just help you with your own pregnancy if you're currently pregnant or you want to get pregnant, or maybe you're just like curious on what happens when you're pregnant and you want to know. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love it. It would really support my channel. I post here every single week, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I'm so excited. I don't know when this video is going up, but baby acorn could be here as this video is playing. Who knows? I don't really, like I said, I don't know when this is gonna go up, but I'm just prepping. I'm gonna be drinking my tea, eating my snacks, and just waiting for the arrival of our little princess. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video and talk to you soon. Bye guys. This tea is very unexciting.